Hi, hello. So I haven't made a video in like a while, maybe like a few weeks. I just wanted to check in with y'all, say hi, see how y'all were doing, let y'all know how I've been doing. I had posted older video that I made prior to going to inpatient, and it just reminded me of my will, my spirit, my desire to live, my desire to succeed, my desire to become everything that I am becoming. And I was going through my files. I was looking at another video that I haven't posted yet, and I was like, I'm going to post this video, but I need to watch it all the way through. I was only able to get through 44 minutes of the video. It's about 50 plus minutes, but the video definitely entails me just processing and navigating my like the full spectrum of my energy, my emotions, and showing myself grace and patience. And I wasn't like, I'm not necessarily in that space right now currently. I'm in a really amazing space. I'm able to cope better with my emotions. I'm able to expand into the positive, be grateful, show gratitude, and I'm able to allow the moments where, irritation, frustration, anger, the past, whatever comes up, and I can give myself that moment, and then the introspection and like the awareness and the self-soothing and all the things, right? And I'm so happy that I'm at that place today, because then when I made the video that I'm going to post after this one, I wasn't really able to like articulate and process. And well, I wouldn't even say I wasn't able to. I just didn't trust what I was articulated, what I was speaking on. I didn't trust who I was and who I am and who I will always be. And I wanted to suppress how heavy the past and my old behavior, my old mindset, and all the trauma and things like exuded in me or show or highlighted. And watching that video like today or yesterday, but today meaning in this new energy that I'm in, or I wouldn't even say really new, I would just say like a deeper embodiment of what I always have been, really showed me that I don't give myself enough credit, enough like appreciation, enough like kindness, enough like moments to be human, moments to mess up, to not know, to not understand, to not desire to experience the humanness or the spirit life that I live. So I am way better than I was in previous videos. Like I always knew, even when I was recording those videos, I always knew that I would be better, I would be whole, I would heal, I would be able to get over the obstacles and the challenges that I was facing at that time. I knew that the difficulty that I was experiencing wouldn't last long. It wouldn't be, it was just a moment for me to, it was a necessary moment for me to get to where I am today. And although I'm still like navigating my life, learning new processes, learning coping skills, learning ways to show up for me and the things I desire to be or create, it's much different and a lot more seamless. And that's why I'm not like, at first I was dropping content every other day, almost every day, because I had something to say every day. And not that I don't have much to say, because I do get the process, I do get the share, but it's just in a different way today. And I have to be mindful of like my goal and my desire to still grow on my platform, to still be a conscious content creator, to still deliver the truth unfiltered, raw, and wonderfully. And so I wanted to come on here and share with y'all that it's only been about 4 to 5 months since I was in a really unsure, uncertain, unstable place, because I was battling with addiction. I was battling with my desire to overcome what I felt was limiting, and I was forcing myself to do it in a way that wasn't necessarily beneficial to me. And but although it's crazy, because some moments I knew that I would need to go through what I was going through, I would need to experience the things that I was experiencing. I desired to experience or encounter life no other way. And so it was kind of like this double conundrum of like feeling insane, and feeling crazy, delusional, out of like just out of my mind, because I wasn't truly ready to align my body, my mind, and my spirit. And I was, appeasing this aspect of myself while oppressing this aspect of myself, which caused a lot of frustration within my being, my vessel. And so I'm not, like, I always say I'm not at 100%, but I don't know if that's true or not, because I'm still struggling. I'm still working through showing up for myself and believing that I am enough as I am. And even though I desire to be better, I desire to expand more, that where I am today is enough. And I'm just like really grateful for all the work that I've put in outside of content creating in my real life, to like highlight that, to like show myself that, to expand more into that. And so I was watching the video, and I was like, it became a little triggering, because I was like, dang, I could hear the sadness, I could hear the confusion, I could hear like me really navigating some hard obstacles, or some hard, like, mind-boggling differences. And I was trying to process, I was trying to show myself love, trying to show myself grace, and I did in my own way. And I just wasn't willing to trust and lean into the version of me that was showing up at that time. And today I am a lot more trusting, I am a lot more forgiving, I'm a lot more loving to myself, and I allow myself to experience the full spectrum of my emotions, whether it's deep in my positivity, deep in my gratitude, deep in my gratefulness, deep in my joy, deep in my just passion and love, and all things abundant and magnetizing and shining. And so but then there are moments when I'm a little depressed, I'm a little sad, I'm a little still uncertain, I'm a little frustrated, irritated, annoyed, overwhelmed, exhausted, tired, hungry, like whatever it is, right? It's a human thing, and it's okay. And I'm learning to be more grateful for those moments. I'm learning to show myself a lot more kindness and not rush, like the way that I like to link or cling to the good and like stay in the high vibrational positive energy. I'm learning that whenever it switches to today is really just not a good day, today is really just a little bit, low vibrational on the opposite scale, and that's okay. Like I'm not sure if anyone is just having complete perfect days. If you are, congratulations. Let me know what you're doing to maintain that energy. But I actually enjoy giving myself a moment to realize that it's okay to not have the best day ever every single day, and that still be a good day, a great day, and to find the joy and the balance in that. And so just because I'm triggered, or just because I'm like feel like I'm regressing, or I'm navigating difficult things, I still feel limitations, whatever it could be, it doesn't change who I am at my core, who I am at my essence, my self-worth, my value, my importance, my ability to show up. Like, I can be who I am without fear of like not being enough. And so some of the things that was like triggering me about the video that I'm going to post after this one was just like hearing how sad I was, hearing how unsure I was of myself, hearing and believing that I wasn't speaking the truth because I was in the space that I was in, and not trusting everything that I was going through at that time as a necessary part of this grand process, my life. Like, it's my life, it's my journey, it's my experience. And if I'm able to express it and share it, then however it comes out is beautiful, it's unique, it's me, it's wonderfully made. And so I just wanted to come on here and give y'all a life update and let y'all know, like, I am really amazing. I am so, like, fulfilled. I am, like, working a lot of different programs. I'm healing myself at a lot of different pace, in a lot of different spaces, and I'm allowing myself to navigate new terrain, and I'm just really feeling it. And then there's moments where, I'm really exhausted, I'm overworked, I'm overextending, I don't trust, I feel like I'm trying too hard, and I'm like, well, why do you feel like that? What's going on? And some of the things, like, I'm gonna, like, tell y'all a little story that's been going on in my life, or some things that's been going on, and how it led up to just, like, a lot of different things. So, one, since I went to inpatient treatment and I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, PTSD, and a slew of other things, I was put on medications, and my medication has changed since my time through this mental health process. However, one of the side effects of one of the medications I take is like nightmares. And so and I'm supposed to take this medication daily, every night, for insomnia, to be able to sleep, to not get woken up in my sleep from my PTSD, my past trauma. And so it does help me, like, just sleep consistently. But there are nights when, like, I've had a full day, or there are days, nights, days, whatever, where I have a full, like, I'm exhausted enough to where I just come home and go to sleep, and I don't necessarily wake up in the middle of the night or as much, or it doesn't bother me when I do wake up, because it's usually to go to the restroom, to, like, adjust myself, or to, like, lately, like, these last 3 nights, I haven't took my medication at night. And that's because I feel like, one, I kind of forgot, and then two, I just was already, like, I could go to sleep without it. There's nights when I know that I'm freaking tired, I know that I'm sleepy, but I really can't go to sleep. And so that's when I feel like I need it the most, and I take it. And I don't really remember, like, a lot of my dreams, or if I'm even my nightmares that I possibly could be having, because I don't know if the medication is like a blocker for that. But anywho, when I got off of it, or not off of it, I didn't take it for like 3 days, 2.5 days. I had vivid dreams, and particularly last night, I had 3 nightmares, or I'm gonna call them nightmares because they kind of, like, scared me. The first one overwhelmed me. The second one just made me feel overstimulated and overwhelmed, same difference. And the third one made me wake up and cry, and that's what was happening consistently when I didn't take medication. So I just had the moment, like, oh, you haven't taken your meds. This is like the 3rd night that you haven't took meds. So now, like, all of the things you have been put on pending, the things that you like, because normally I could just process this through the day with my therapist and my groups and with the people who is my support team, but it's difficult to process 3-4 in the morning when you just had something come up and you wasn't expecting it to. So, like, again, it was just me not being mindful to be, like, on top of my medication, but also, like, accepting that I was able to go to sleep comfortably. I didn't feel a need to take the medication, and the nightmares is a side effect of taking or not taking the medication. And so I take full accountability for that, and it gave me I was okay with the dreams I had, because it allowed me to access a part of my inner child who is deeply hurting. in particular the very last dream. But I feel like a lot of things led up to this, and I want to like tap into some of that. So I am dating, I'm in a relationship, and I'm really like really excited about that. I like my boyfriend. So I sometimes my attachment style is a little bit more forthcoming, more like sometimes I value people more than they deserve or value me in return, reciprocation. And it has nothing to do with like I realized over time that yes, there was times where I was overcompensating for what I felt I lacked and what others needed, and then there's times where this is literally just genuinely how I feel. This is like my love meter. This is my ability to expand into this place, and everyone's just not receptive of it. Everyone's not able to meet me at the level that I am at because I'm me and only I can do what I do. Not that reciprocation doesn't happen, not that it can't happen, but in certain dynamics with certain individuals who haven't experienced or grown through life in whatever way, they are capped, so they can only extend so much, and most of the time they are going to take more. And so I would like befriend people. Like let's say if you're really just an acquaintance, I'll call you my friend. If you really just appear, I'll call you my friend. Like, everyone is like I group everyone in these categories that they necessarily haven't shown me any proof or worth deserving, but it's more so like I said, my attachment style, which has some growing areas needed, or some areas where I need to grow and learn to detach and place people in the right role. But also it's also a component of how I choose to show up in the world, no matter what the other people are doing or not doing. So I got some feedback, an opinion, a lot of opinions and feedback from a particular person who I was like, oh, you can be my friend, you're cool. And like some of the points that they were making, it was in regards to my relationship, and it made me consider a lot. But it also, like, there is like always the gray area where it's like, yeah, these are valid points, but what is your intention? And then not only is your intention genuine, are you considering the impact? Is it a necessary? Do you need to say the things you're saying if the intention isn't right? And if the intention isn't right, what really is impact? And then if your intention is pure and genuine, then and the impact doesn't connect, like it impacts me negatively, or it sends me down a rabbit hole, or it makes me second guess or whatever, then does the intention even matter? And so there's a lot of ways to look at this particular incident. And so I was like, because I'm very open-minded and I allow people their space, I was very like, okay, fine, like, yeah, I can hear you, what you're saying, you're right, that's valid, but you know what I got going on is between me and my partner, and I'm happy with or without a partner. And I have a person who complements and contributes to that happiness. And it more so sounded like the particular person who was giving me feedback was really just interested in me and desired to either have more of a relationship with me than like if I was available, and me not being available like limits that their access, because I'm gonna have strong boundaries. But it's also weird because it's like you have never given me attention or like said any of these things prior to you finding out I had a boyfriend. But somehow when you know I have a boyfriend, you have so much to input on my situation. And so it was kind of like I said, the truth is the truth, like valid is valid, but also what is the intention and what was the impact. And so at first it was like, okay, I'm just going to talk to my boyfriend about it, and if it's something that we come to terms with, then it's cool. And so I told my boyfriend, and he was like, he kind of felt the same way I felt, and he also gave me reassurance with where we are in our relationship, and it was cool. And so I'm like, yeah, I allowed that person's opinion, feedback, or whatever, like alter what I trust about the relationship that I'm already in and that I'm a part of outside of that person, and something I established and chose willingly, and like not from a just, it was a natural place that I desired to experience what I'm experiencing. So it kind of like all the stuff he was like, what if, when this happened, what if this happened, it sounds like this is gonna happen, all these things. I'm like, well, I'm mature enough to like notice the signs of those type of things, and then in the event that I do encounter that, I'll deal with it then. But I'm not finna fixate myself on the negative or the what ifs or the possibilities of whatever, just because one, you're saying it, or you're giving, that feedback. And when I'm like, we're not in that space, we're not dealing with those things. So yeah, in the event that something like that comes up, I'll have to navigate those emotions, navigate those situations, and process it accordingly. But why would I harp or worry about something that's currently not happening, that is not a factor? And like, although some of the points were valid, a lot of it is me communicating with my partner and coming to common grounds and getting to know each other better, learn each other better, and choose how we desire to show up in a relationship outside of another person's opinion and feedback. Even if, cause like I said, it was like general statements, like him asking how many dates have we been on, what he give me for Valentine's Day, like how many times we've had sex, what has he bought me, how much money has he spent on me, just different stuff that like I am like, my love language is like gift giving and affection and all the things. So it was like from a certain perspective, okay, yeah, that's like some genuine, or not genuine, but some general questions or things to consider, as far as like him being a man and saying like what a man's intentions could possibly be or not be. But at the same time, when I think about the relationship that I'm in and how it came about, I respect the pace that we're at. I respect, because it's a very new relationship, it's like 2 weeks. And so I'm not like, I don't know like the full scope of my partner's financial capability. And I'm also not like, I'm not in a bad space financially, but I'm not in like the best space that I would consider. So it's like, that's not important to us. That's not something that our relationship has been established on. And like, yeah, I get like your feedback and opinions, but again, no, I wasn't worried about those things prior to you saying it. And they don't necessarily determine what our relationship consists of, or what our relationship will consist of, or be whatever. It's like he can give me tomorrow, he could take me on a date tomorrow, like he could do all those things, and that would just, to me, increase what's already established. Him not having done it as much or whatever doesn't necessarily make me feel lesser about him. It just brought up, like, it made me consider, like, from a male perspective, what my so-called friend, really acquaintance, was saying. But again, like, a lot of it, like I said, was loaded with feeling like he just truly desired the place, and he desired to have something with me that me having a boyfriend wouldn't allow him to have. And so after talking to my boyfriend, I was like I didn't agree with him with everything that he said, but I also respected where he came from. And so I like I said, I'm not, if I don't communicate something, then I don't expect it to be like accomplished or facilitated. So And I'm not saying that I have to communicate everything for someone to do something nice for me, or to desire to do gifts or dates or all the things in between. But it's like, I know how new our relationship is. I know how we came to be in a relationship, and I respect the pace that we are going at. And so it was just like, it just brought a lot of conflict into my mind. And so and it was, like I said, it was valid things, like how does starting a relationship like this in the beginning translate to the future? Like, that's a realistic concern. Like, you don't, like, it's just like having red flags in the beginning, like an abusive partner, a degrading partner, a rude partner, a verbal, whatever the abuse is or the unfavorable behavior is, and considering how that could impact the relationship in the future or grow into something else. So I understood it from, like, logically, but then at the same time, I'm like, I know myself, and, like, in the event that I receive those things from him, great. In the event that I communicate that I desire those things from him and he accomplished them or not, great. It'll just give me more ability to navigate what we are going through, or not even going through, but what we are experiencing together. So it was really just something very simple that became over complicated in my mind because I'm an overthinker. And so I eventually told my real therapist what everything was going on, and she was like, "No, like, you are very self-aware. You're very mindful, and yes, you're just considering what navigating a relationship so early in your recovery will impact in your future." Because I'm not, like, I like to say I'm not 100% healed, because I don't think anyone really is, but, like, I'm where I'm at in my journey, and I love it. And so I don't know how, like, the possibility of a relationship ending will impact the journey that I'm on now. I don't know how behavior or things happening in my relationship that I'm disapproving of or dissatisfied with, I don't know how that will impact me, but I choose to say that it's not something that bothers me now, and it's not something I'm dealing with now. So in the event that it comes up in my field, that's when I will deal with it. And so she was like, yeah, that's exactly like, you're being realistic about that, and everything that you are concerned with isn't necessarily, like, irrational, isn't like future tripping or anything. Is relative to protecting your sobriety and your recovery and your heart space. And you just have to be mindful of the people or the things you hear and listen to, because someone could say 20, like, she gave me the example of, like, that's like everything that he's saying is the same thing as, like, you going on TikTok and seeing some random person say 20 signs that your relationship is doomed, or 20 signs that your partner is not good for you, or whatever. And it's like, that's someone's, even if it computes to you as valid or general statements or facts or whatever, that's still from the lens that they are choosing to present it from. So you have to be mindful of and filter it through your conscious and your own understanding or overstanding. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna allow someone who I'm not really, like, locked in with, who doesn't really know me beyond this conversation, to dictate or determine the outcome of my relationship based off the little bit that I've chosen to share with them, because that's just insane, and that's not fair to my partner or myself to have a third party giving insight, feedback, and, like, attempting to instill their control over what I am experiencing, when, like, no dates or as many dates could equate to a short-term relationship. Okay, maybe it's supposed to be a short-term relationship. Who says that we are meant to be together for the rest of our lives, you know? So it's like, you have to really decide the things you're choosing and what they mean to you. And right now, I like what my partner, my boyfriend means to me, and I like where our relationship is. I enjoy where we are, and I look forward to growing and navigating a relationship together. So that's cool. So I do have attachment things. So like my partner like spent a lot of time with me, and then he had to leave, handle some business, and I was like, oh my gosh, I miss my baby. And that's like normal, like human things. You miss the people you care about, and it wasn't like I'm going to die, I can't live without him, I can't do nothing without him, I'm just completely unable to be by myself. No, it was like it was a normal reaction to someone who's in a intimate connection. And so I just felt, okay, cool. But then I had another like I was like, oh, we didn't like do this as much, we didn't do this as much this time, that we didn't do this as much, for very valid and understanding reasons. But it was just something that I noticed that like if I'm used to a routine or used to a certain type of something, then I not get it, it kind of like disconnected me or made me like I longed or desired that for that thing that I now couldn't get because he's actually not here anymore. Versus if I had known that I needed those things while he was here and I communicated it, and it would have been solved. And so we talked about it, and I felt like kind of like I was being overbearing or whatever, because like I was like, I'm not trying to complain or anything, I just want to like share with you where I'm at, and hopefully like going forward we could navigate it from this place. And he was like, no, I want you to feel comfortable sharing with me, I want you to feel comfortable speaking up and communicating with me, and us navigating this relationship is new, it's the beginning, and this is what it, like me learning you is about, it's what you learning me is about, so that we could flow in our relationship. And I was just so like, oh my gosh, my baby's so understanding and loving and patient and gentle with me, because I am navigating like mental health diagnosis, I am navigating my sobriety, and that could change or shift in any direction, moment by moment, day by day. Luckily I've been pretty stable, but like I said, when something, I noticed that even when it's something positive that disrupts my routine, it still impacts me. I won't say negatively, but it's something that I have to consciously adjust to so that it is accepted within my full vessel. And so definitely when something negative or something I desire doesn't happen, I have to process that and give myself the care that's needed. Like if I didn't get enough hugs, I have to hug myself, I have to communicate that I want more hugs, I want more physical touch. And that's something that is normal to come up against in a very new relationship. Like he's not going to know all the things about me 2 weeks in. Now if we had been dating or talking or involved with each other for months, years, and then we have a relationship, then there's a lot more time to like figure these things out. But when it's like, I wouldn't say love at first sight, but it's just like you connect with someone, then eventually like it starts off as something, then you're like, oh well, actually just I want this to be more, and we commit to having that exclusive relationship. Then it comes the growth and the learning and the building with each other. It like relationships are very different in the way that they are formed, sustained, maintained, and everything in between. So again, not taking my medications, allowing somebody insight who probably didn't have the best intention and definitely didn't have the right impact on me and my psyche. And then just like not maintaining energetic boundaries in some certain spaces, because sometimes like I'm on my medication and I could hear some sad stuff or hear some triggering stuff, and I'll just be like, I'll just absorb it and not really give myself the moment to like reflect on how this is making me feel. And so or if it's something that I completely don't relate to, I'm just like, I can show up for you and have a boundary where it's like, yeah, I feel where you're coming from, but I haven't experienced that, so I don't have to take on the full scope of what that means for you. And so recently, a lot of people talked about something previously that I experienced more recently. So I was like, oh, this is what this is that. Like, it's not at the magnitude that they may have expressed it or experienced it, but it is the version of it that I'm experiencing for where I'm at in my recovery. And so the nightmares just revealed to me some of the inner child healing that was needed, and a part of my inner child that feels neglected and abandoned and unsure about the love that particularly her mother can provide her with, or didn't provide her with in the past, and trusting that today. Because I was like, adult me is very satisfied with the relationship I have with my mom, very open to growing in the relationship I have with my mom, and accepting of it possibly not going the best way, and dealing with that when it comes up, because that's being conscious of the past things that contributed to the traumas that I've had, and being willing and accepting of growing in a relationship with another human, and being okay. Like, love requires you to be okay with the possibility of hurt. Not that love should hurt, not that love should fail you or and all those things, but that in the event that someone isn't able to maintain the relationship at the level you desire, you have to establish the boundary, shift into the space that's needed for you to continue to accept and flow in that thing or not. And so my inner child just needed a little attention and love and reassurance that I was not suppressing or denying the past experiences. I wasn't forgetting them. I wasn't trying to make her get over them. I wasn't trying to make her believe something that wasn't true for her, and accepting that I am willing to support her in all the ways required to that my mother failed to, misstepped, overlooked, underlooked, whatever it was. And I have the opportunity to not only give myself, my inner child and myself, that care today, but I can also communicate to my mom the suffering and the pain and the hardship that I'm experiencing, or my inner child is experiencing, and give her the opportunity to mend and love on me and show up for me more. And it's okay for my inner child to still be scared and worried that mama's going to do something bad again, but I also am here to reassure my inner child and little me that I am here to protect her and allow her to experience the full spectrum of her life. And because what happened in the past isn't necessarily happening right now today, that she can trust me to navigate the parts of life that she's still uncertain about, and at the same time allow herself to heal, throw tantrums, and be where she is in that. So I spent the morning crying and just like feeling like overwhelmed, and just like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of sad. Like, I really missed out on a lot in my childhood, and not getting enough love from my boyfriend, like, was one of the triggers. And then letting someone tell me what I wanted or needed or desired also, it was like just a domino effect. And I was, okay, that's fine, that's cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, you didn't take your meds. You should have took your meds. If you would take your meds, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm like, no, this was needed to happen. You didn't take your meds because you went to sleep okay. You went to sleep naturally. It wasn't like I'm choosing, like I'm intentionally like I'm not taking no meds. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't self-harm. It wasn't nothing. It was real, like I feel okay enough to try to go to sleep without my medication. And Then there's also the thing where, like, if I do fall asleep at a certain time and then I end up waking up and it's still nighttime, I'm not taking my meds past 12 a.m. Really, yeah, because if I take it, then it's a strong medication, and I'm not going to wake up like I would like to in the morning. So I accept that accountability and responsibility to what that means. And I don't necessarily think the dreams that I had were like harming me. It was a necessary realization that I needed to meet for my inner child, and I think it happened how it should have happened. And so all of these things, there was also a moment where, like I said, there's times when I may alter my plans, or something may alter my plans, something I can't control, or something I can control happens, and I make a decision, then I later realize, I really didn't want to do that, but I did it, and it got me here, and now I'm feeling this. So I have to be accountable again to the choices that I still make that contribute to me experiencing a reality a certain way. And that's not a negative thing. It's just a real thing. It's just like, you made a decision. This is the outcome. Now process everything that happened that contributed to the outcome. And now you know that you can prioritize or make different decisions that will or should facilitate a different outcome. And when it's uncontrolled things, like where it wasn't something I made a decision on, I still when it's uncontrolled and it's something I can't control, then I still have the power to make a decision to how I respond and react to what I can't control, by allowing it to flow and process. And if it's something that frustrates me, be frustrated. That's normal. But don't allow the frustration to hold you or bound you to something that you already can't control. So I just really love that part of this process, because it was, like I said, even the choices that I decided to make wasn't bad choices. It just gave me an outcome that I could have not necessarily avoided, but I could have altered had I chose a different one, or had I been more grounded in what I really wanted or needed or desired. And it's a learning process of recovery and prioritizing myself and growing in my self-love, my self-worth, my self-value, my self-esteem, my confidence, and navigating different relationships and dynamics and all of the things. So I'm really happy for this moment, but I just wanted to share with y'all, because I'm depending on how I decided to look at it, view it, allow it to, if I would have stayed in bed this morning and not got up and did the things I would have did, I don't know if I would have even created this video today, because it was really hard for me to want to get out the bed after crying and after feeling like I didn't make the best decision for myself, and I still chose to show up and do the things that I needed to do anyway. And so that showed me my true power, my essence, my resilience, my ability to transmute and alchemize anything put in front of me, and my ability to process and be accountable and responsible for the decisions that I choose and make in my own life. And not look at everything as a mistake, but an opportunity to learn and grow, assess, and become deeper in tune. Because it was it's just meaning okay, next time, really either accept that even if it's a reasonable, positive change that you're choosing, that your reaction to change, or if to your inner child, feels like instability, it feels like uncertainty, it feels like abandonment, neglect, if it could feel a certain, even though it's not that, it's just you being an adult making a different choice that serves you in a different way, and learning to hold your inner child and yourself through those processes willingly and understandably, and not feeling so boggled down by your decisions to live and experience life. Like, you are meant to experience this life. You're meant to grow in love, to expand into love. And sometimes expanding into love means dealing with hardship, heartbreak, having to set new boundaries, shift in relationships and all that. And not that any of that is pending or coming up, but it's a real, like, something that could really happen. So it's not future tripping to think about, like, this is a possibility. But it's also not like worrying about it in a way where it becomes a reality because you're so focused on what's not happening. I'm definitely aware of all the good and like grace and opportunity and love and abundance and support that is all around me, and I choose to focus and navigate those things versus the future tripping or something negative happening that may or may not happen. And I am growing and trusting myself to be able to handle things that come up better, because I am doing it. I've been doing it, and where I am today shows it. Because when y'all see this video, it's going to sound and look a lot different than the next video that I'm going to post, which is an older video. But then there's a lot of similarities between that version of me and this version of me, because the main difference is that version of me was unintegrated, not trusting of her expression, whereas today I am a lot more trusting and loving and conscious of how I choose to express and expand into my universe. So let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all think about anything. Give me some feedback. Let me know where you at in your life. Any questions about me navigating my sobriety, my recovery, my mental health diagnoses, my new relationship, my family relationships. Like, I want to hear from y'all. I want to know where y'all are in y'all things. If there's any way that I can support you, let me know, because you deserve to live abundantly, wonderfully, and just as free as you desire to be. Okay? Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you for being here, supporting my journey, listening all the way through. And yeah, like, I want to get some feedback, so let me know what y'all think. And I'll see y'all on the next video, because my videos are going to be more intuitive. Like I have to be inspired to internally, maybe even some external things, but mostly internally, to do it, versus me just like, this is my lifeline, and if I don't record, I'm probably going to be deep up in some other things, but I'm not like that no more. And I'm grateful for that experience, because it allows me to see the growth and the expansion that I am currently in, and it gives me more freedom and not feel like I'm like in a box stand, like I have to do content, I have to do this. Like, I get to show up on here when I choose to, how I want to, and I love that for me. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Again, have a wonderful day, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. Bye.